Hey, everybody. Ready for something powerful?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Awesome. Today, we're going deep on how relationships impact our lives.
Especially.
Yeah, especially when you bring faith and community into the mix.
It's a good mix.
Really good. We'll be looking at the Bible for this one.
Okay.
Genesis, Mark, and Psalm 133.
A lot of good stuff in those.
Tons. Plus, we've got an episode we're going to pull from
Cool.
called How Can We Build Stronger Relationships Through Faith and Community?
Catchy.
Right. It's amazing how much these sources connect
They're really good.
our spiritual well-being to our everyday relationships.
More than just advice.
Oh, yeah.
It's about understanding why
Exactly.
connection is vital.
It's like we're wired for it.
We are, literally.
Right. Think about Genesis 1.26,
Okay.
where it says God created humanity in his image.
Uh-huh.
It's easy to think, like, okay, so we look sort of like,
Kinda.
yeah, like a higher power or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But what's it really mean?
It's a big question.
Huge. To be made in God's image.
Yeah, how does that...
What's that actually mean for how we relate to each other?
We often get stuck on the physical resemblance.
Totally.
No. Well,
What if it's way deeper than that?
what if it's about our capacity for love?
Oh, wow.
Creativity, our sense of responsibility towards others.
Towards each other.
God's often described
Yeah.
to those same qualities.
So, hang on.
Yeah.
Are you saying our design,
Yeah.
like in our DNA,
Uh-huh.
it pushes us toward connection?
Yeah. It's not just a
Like a bonus feature.
nice to have.
Right.
It's how we're supposed to function.
Okay. And then Genesis 2.18
Yeah.
really drives it home.
What happens then?
God sees Adam totally alone
Mm-hmm.
and says, it is not good.
Powerful stuff.
And this is before Eve shows up. So clearly,
Clearly.
this need to connect
Yes.
goes way beyond just romance.
For sure. This is about a
Yeah.
fundamental need for companionship.
In our core,
Humans are designed
they are
to thrive in community,
to share
to celebrate.
all of it.
Imagine
Yeah.
going through something tough
Oh, man.
and having absolutely no one to talk to.
Like, it makes it worse.
It amplifies it, yeah.
Okay, so we've established
We have
humans
to.
need connection.
It's in the blueprint.
Right. But how does
The-
faith?
Good question.
I mean, you could have bowling buddies, right?
You could.
What's the difference when faith is the basis?
That's where the big love commandments come in.
From Mark.
12.2831.
Okay.
Love God. Love your neighbor.
Right.
Easy to hear that and go, huh,
Yeah, be good.
exactly.
What if these ideas?
What if they're not just a to-do list?
Uh-huh.
They fuel each other.
Whoa. How does that work?
How does loving God power up
Yeah.
loving other people?
And vice versa.
And vice versa. Imagine
Sure.
a plant needs sunlight and water.
You can't have just one.
Nope. Loving God nourishes our soul, gives us strength.
Inner strength?
And when we're full of that love,
Yeah.
it overflows
It says.
into our interaction.
And to everything.
More patient,
Yeah.
more forgiving.
More likely to see,
See the best in people,
even when it's tough.
even when it's tough.
That's a good analogy.
Thanks.
So it's like
Yeah.
faith isn't just about beliefs.
Nope.
It's like the energy source
It is.
for how we relate to everyone.
Plugging into a power source.
To love deeper.
More authentically?
Yes. And it's not just about saying, I love you
Right. It's about showing it.
through actions
That Christ-like love.
that the podcast talked about.
Which leads perfectly to
Oh, yeah.
Psalm 133.1.
Okay.
Talks about how good and pleasant it is
Yeah.
when God's people live together in unity.
But does this only apply
Oh, good one.
in a church setting?
Yeah.
Or can we find this
Mm.
deep, joyful connection?
And other parts of life.
I think so.
I think the answer's both.
Really?
Yeah. Churches are amazing for finding community,
Oh,
but that sense of belonging can be found
okay.
in so many places.
Like where?
Think about a team
Okay.
working toward a goal.
Okay.
That accomplishment
Yeah.
is amplified
When you share it.
when you share it
No.
with people you care about.
So it's not about the where.
No,
It's the how.
it's about finding spaces
Uh-huh.
to practice
Love.
forgiveness.
Connection.
Yeah.
Okay, so that brings us to
But
the practical advice from the podcast.
they had some good stuff.
Really interesting points on how to build those strong relationships.
They did. Like being intentional
Oh, yeah.
about your relationship.
It's easy to just let them drift.
Especially
Yeah.
with everything going on.
Right. Life is
We
crazy.
have like anything worthwhile.
What do you mean?
You don't just magically have, oh, I know, amazing friendships
Uh-huh.
or a solid marriage.
Right.
You have to nurture those.
You do. What does the podcast say about how to do that?
They talked about scheduling time
Okay.
with friends
Okay, so like...
regularly,
Oh, okay.
like a monthly coffee
Yeah.
or even a phone call.
Just to catch up.
Yeah, and like really listening
Being present,
when you were together.
it's so easy to put those things off,
Way too easy.
but they make a difference.
Yeah, huge difference.
Little deposits
I like that.
in the relationship bank.
Yes. And speaking of deposits,
Okay.
serving others was another big one.
What do you mean?
Doesn't have to be grand gestures.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes it's offering to babysit
Yeah.
so a friend can go out
Oh, nice.
or helping a neighbor.
With yard work?
Exactly. Little things can mean the most.
Drew,
Actions speak louder.
hold on.
Yeah.
We're talking about serving others.
Uh-huh.
How does that connect to faith?
Good question.
Is it just a good Christian thing to do?
It's deeper
Yeah.
than a checklist.
Okay, good.
Remember Christ-like love,
Uh-huh.
not just saying the right words.
Yeah.
It's reflecting God's love
Oh,
through
right.
actions.
Oh, okay.
Serving others.
Yeah?
Especially when you don't expect anything back.
Yeah, yeah.
That's embodying love.
Putting faith into action.
Yes. It's one thing to talk about,
Loving your neighbor.
but it's another to help them move.
That's true. Okay, so we've got
With-
being intentional,
Uh-huh.
serving others.
What else?
What other tips did they have?
Communication.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Open and honest,
Yeah.
but always kindness.
With grace.
There's a proverb for this.
Yes, there.
15.1. A gentle answer turns away wrath,
Oh.
but a harsh word stirs up anger.
Yeah, I've been guilty of that.
Letting emotions take over.
Uh-huh. It never ends well.
You catch more flies with honey than vinegar.
That's so true.
It's not about suppressing your feelings
Right.
or avoiding conflict.
But learning to express yourself
Yeah.
in a healthy way.
That builds bridges.
Not walls.
And remembering that other person
Is made in God's image,
deserves respect.
even when you disagree.
They talked about forgiveness too.
Oh, yeah.
Ephesians 4.32.
Okay.
Be kind and compassionate to one another,
Uh-huh.
forgiving each other, just as in Christ, God forgave you.
What about when
Yeah.
forgiveness feels impossible
When someone really hurt you,
and you just can't let go?
that's real.
It is.
Forgiveness is a process.
Not a switch.
Sometimes it's about releasing yourself the burden
No.
more than condoning their actions.
It's about you.
Recognizing that holding on to bitterness
Uh-huh.
hurts you
Oh, wow.
in the long run.
So forgiveness is like self-care,
In a way,
freeing yourself
to move forward.
with a lighter heart,
Doesn't mean forgetting what happened or
Yeah.
pretending it didn't hurt
but choosing to let go.
of the negative. I like that.
They also talked about
Yeah.
extending that community.
Beyond the church.
Don't keep it locked up on Sunday morning.
Yeah, yeah.
They give some great examples.
Like what?
Shared meals,
Oh, okay.
like inviting friends over for dinner.
Creates a sense of belonging.
Warmth.
It's true. Breaking bread together
It really does.
brings people closer.
And group projects,
Oh, cool.
working together towards something,
Powerful bonding.
and laughter.
Yeah.
Find activities you enjoy.
Hiking, games, concerts.
Shared joy.
Makes life better.
Go out there
Have fun.
with your community.
But that can feel overwhelming.
It can.
Where do you even start?
Start small.
Small.
Intentional actions.
Like those deposits we talked about.
Pick one thing from the podcast that
Yeah.
you liked.
Okay.
And do it this week.
This week. Like what?
Send a text message to a
Friend.
friend or offer to help someone.
With a chore?
Little gestures add up.
They do.
Like a tapestry, one thread at a time.
Beautiful work of art.
Represents all the love.
You don't have to do it all at once.
That's a relief.
Take it one step at a time.
Okay.
God will use your efforts.
That's a good reminder.
Before we wrap up,
Oh, yeah.
I want to go back to
Okay.
finding community.
In diverse places.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're talking about community outside the church.
Right.
But some people might be thinking, wait, shouldn't faith be a big part of this?
Yeah. How do we stay rooted
Exactly.
while branching out?
It's not either, is it?
It's both.
Both.
Faith is the foundation,
Okay.
the core values,
Love.
forgiveness,
Uh-huh.
service.
That doesn't go away.
It doesn't.
Just because you're hanging out with people who aren't religious,
It's a chance to live it out
authentically.
in those spaces.
So our faith just kind of,
It informs
informs how we act.
how we show up.
Even if we're not talking about religion,
You got it.
we're just Being good people.
Be the kind of person
Hmm.
people want to be around.
I'm
Compassionate.
a good listener.
Those qualities shine through.
People are drawn to that.
They might not know why.
But they feel good.
Comfortable.
Accepted.
Around you.
It's like those values.
Yeah.
They're a magnet
Attracting people.
who are searching for that.
Looking for something more.
Deeper connection.
And that's where the shared experiences come in.
The meal of
Projects create a sense of belonging.
that goes beyond small talk.
It does.
This brings us back to Psalm 133.1.
Full circle.
Right. How good and pleasant it is
Yeah.
when God's people live together in unity.
That feeling.
Warmth, support, shared joy.
The best.
But let's be real. Relationships can be hard.
They can?
They're not always perfect.
Nope. There will be
Disagreements, conflict.
betrayals even.
That's where faith comes in.
Oh, so.
It gives us the tools
Okay.
to handle those things.
To navigate the tough stuff.
Patience, love, to rebuild. It's like faith gives us
A toolkit.
for the bumps in the road,
Not about avoiding conflict.
but about handling it well.
Honoring yourself.
And the other person.
That's where the podcast tips come in handy.
Communicate with kindness.
Choose your words carefully.
Be quick to forgive.
Those are skills,
You can practice.
like any other skill
We're always learning and growing,
in our relationship.
just like in our faith.
Exactly.
Okay, so big takeaway
What is it?
from everything we've talked about today
I think it's
Yeah.
relationships are the heart,
of the human experience
and faith gives us a framework.
for building those strong connections.
In our churches, friend groups, families.
It makes life richer.
It does.
That's a great way to put it.
Thanks.
As we finish up, I want to leave you with a question.
Okay.
What's one small step
Yeah.
you can take today?
To strengthen a relationship.
Make a phone call.
Send a text.
Write a note.
Even a silent prayer.
Those little
They matter.
they can have a ripple effect.
And never underestimate
Yeah.
the power of a smile,
A listening ear.
a helping hand,
The building blocks.
of strong communities.
It's been awesome exploring all this with you.
It has.
Go out there.
Make those connections.
Nurture those relationships.
Let your faith guide you.
You won't regret it.